Yeah, you said that Christians right now are not a powerful political majority, and yet sometimes I think we are, right? Like we harken back to someday maybe in the Eisenhower administration in the '50s when there was kind of a civic religion that embraced Christianity, but we don't live in that day anymore, and it seems like all of us as Christians need to be prepared to live out our faith regardless of what the government says we can and cannot do, not in an antagonistic way, but in a humble, Christ centered way. And it paid off for the Quakers. They stuck by their convictions. And maybe we need to be willing to have our property plundered, like Hebrews 10, or to be imprisoned. Maybe that will become our way. I hope not. And you and the Becket Fund are doing everything you can to protect those religious liberties, which are very valuable. So I don't want in any way say they're not a big deal. They're a huge deal. However, we need to be willing to live out our convictions even in times of trouble. Speaking of you being with the Becket Fund, Vice President, Senior Counsel, I bet you that a lot of people think you only take Christian cases. How do you? I know that's not true from reading your book, but how do you guys decide what cases to take?
Yeah, so Beckett is one of the nation's only law firms that is dedicated to defending religious freedom for people of all faiths. So we defend everybody from A to Z. We say Amish to Zoroastrian, and everyone in between. I've had cases on behalf of Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, Jews, Native Americans, Sikhs, Santeros, you name it.
I don't even know what all those are.
Yeah. Well, we have tremendous religious diversity here
Yeah.
in our wonderful country, and I think there's both legal, theological, and practical reasons why it's important to care about religious freedom for people of all faiths. So, when I talk about this with Christians, some Christians say like, "Hey, why would you defend religious freedom for a Muslim or for a Sikh or somebody like that?" And I'd say uh, three reasons. One is just as a matter of pure self-interest. Like say you don't care about other religious groups at all. Well, your religious freedom is bound up with their religious freedom, and the precedents set in their case are going to affect your case. Um, you know, I don't think that's the best reason to defend religious freedom for people of all faiths. But even if I can't get you on board with other reasons, just as a matter of pure self-interest, it makes sense. The main reason I encourage people to defend religious freedom for people of all faiths is that it's a fundamental human right rooted in who we are as human beings, and it's a basic issue of biblical justice. The way that God created us is for relationship with Him, and we can't enter into that relationship under compulsion. We can only do it as a response and as a matter of conscience. And so when the government tries to intrude into that human response to God, it's exceeding its God ordained boundaries and committing an injustice. And it's also violating who we are and who we're created to be as human beings. And everybody's created with this thirst for God. And the only way we can act on that is as a matter of conscience. And so, whether the government is interfering with that for a Christian or interfering with that for someone of another faith, it's an injustice that we as Christians need to stand up against and speak out for the truth.